When we think of judgment in Middle-earth, Námo, better known as Mandos, is often cast as the somber divine arbiter, the Valar, who pronounces fate and seals the destiny of all souls. But what if there's more beneath that austere exterior? What if Námo's true role stretches beyond passing judgment, and instead he functions as the very memory of Arda itself, a witness to the unfolding of all things, unblinking and unyielding? Today we're exploring this deeper role of Námo. It's a perspective that sees him less as a traditional judge wielding a gavel, and more like a cosmic witness, preserving the spiritual ledger of Arda's history. It's a subtle shift, but it opens up a fascinating way to think about fate, free will, and moral responsibility in Tolkien's world. Let's start by revisiting what we know from the texts. In the Silmarillion, Námo is called the doomsman of the Valar, which, if you think about it, doesn't just mean he hands out judgments like punishments or rewards. Dooms can be understood as decrees or destinies, but notably, the text states that Mandos does not forget and he does not forgive. This line usually feels a bit ominous, right? Like he keeps a perfect scorecard of every grievance, every slight. But it also points to another function, perfect memory. He is, in a sense, the eternal witness who holds every deed in spiritual stasis, making sure nothing is lost or erased from the moral fabric of the world. Further emphasizing this, the Silmarillion tells us that Mandos is not named in the tales of men because he forgets nothing, and his judgment is immutable. The key idea here is permanence. He remembers all, which means the moral consequences of actions are ever present. This memory is less about vengeance and more about accountability. We also learn that Námo's knowledge isn't of omniscience, but divine observation. The book says, "He forgets nothing, and he knows all things that shall be, save only those that lie still in the freedom of Ilúvatar." So he doesn't make fate happen. He stands outside time, watching, remembering, and revealing what naturally flows from what has been done. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Námo's spouse, Vara the Weaver, records all things on her tapestries. Their union forms a powerful metaphor. Vare captures the events themselves, weaving the fabric of history, while Námo remembers their meaning, holding the moral truth behind the deeds. Together, they archive the spiritual history of Arda as it unfolds. Think about the famous Oath of Feanor, which haunts the Númenórean histories and the struggles of the Noldor. That oath continues to cast a shadow precisely because Námo remembers it perfectly. The world itself can't forget it because that memory anchors the consequences. So, the oaths, the sorrows, the joys, they remain alive in the world's spiritual record. This reinterpretation of Námo shifts our understanding quite a bit. Rather than a judge who issues sentences like a final arbiter, Mandos might be better seen as one who announces what is already spiritually true, based on the collective memory of actions. His proclamations of doom are less like sentences handed down out of nowhere, and more like unveiling the inevitable outcomes woven into the tapestry of history. There's also that striking moment when the text tells us that no soul leaves Mandos without his bidding. This isn't about imprisonment in a conventional sense, but could imply that the spiritual accounting reaches its natural conclusion only when all debts and reckonings are fulfilled. Námo doesn't impose his will arbitrarily. He serves as the eternal witness whose memory ensures no unresolved moral thread remains loose. An objection you might raise is that Tolkien's texts appear to assign him an active role in pronouncing fate. His dooms seem to carry teeth, suggesting authority rather than passive recording. That's a fair point. But remember, these dooms might be better understood as unveiling inherent spiritual truths. Námo's role is less about enforcing fate and more about revealing it, grounded in an incorruptible memory that no power, not even he, can alter. Another common question is whether a witness role fits with Námo's stature among the Aratar, who are described as the mightiest of the Valar. Well, what could be mightier than perfect remembrance? An eternal memory that guarantees justice by never allowing the world to forget is a force beyond might. It's the spiritual backbone holding the moral universe together. Let's also consider the ongoing tension in Tolkien's legendarium, the coexistence of fate and free will. How can they both be true? Námo's role as witness reconciles this beautifully. He doesn't decide outcomes or force choices. Instead, by keeping unerringly accurate accounts, he ensures that free actions and their consequences are faithfully remembered and eventually harmonized with the divine design. In short, Námo, the doomsman, stands less like a judge passing arbitrary sentence and more like the unblinking witness preserving the moral ledger of all Middle-earth. His power lies not in changing fate, but in bearing its weight eternally and compassionately. So next time you read about Námo's pronouncements or the fate waiting in Mandos halls, imagine not a dispiriting sentence being handed down, but a profound act of remembrance. The steadfast holding of all deeds and their meanings in the quiet vaults of spiritual memory. This subtle but powerful shift deepens how we understand destiny and moral responsibility in Tolkien's universe. What do you think? Does this image of Námo as the cosmic memory keeper instead of a strict judge hold water? I'm sure many of you have your own thoughts and interpretations, especially given Tolkien's rich, often ambiguous texts. Please share your ideas. Let's unpack this together. And here's a challenge to consider. If Námo remembers everything but does not intervene, how does that influence your understanding of free will in Middle-earth? Is fate something imposed or something naturally unfolding and simply recorded? It's a question worth pondering because it touches on the heart of Tolkien's philosophical vision. Thanks for joining this exploration into one of Tolkien's most intriguing, Valar. If you're captivated by the spiritual depths of Middle-earth, stay tuned for more content that looks beyond the surface of these timeless tales. Until then, keep wandering the lands of myth and memory, and keep those stories alive.